A judge that was arrested in DA Fani Willis's Fulton County is now fighting back. Former Judge Christina Peterson is saying that she's innocent and she believes that more evidence, more footage is going to come out to defend her innocence. Now, Peterson was arrested just a few weeks ago for supposedly attacking a police officer, one that she punched in the face with a closed fist. And if you guys remember, I actually broke this news to you guys the moment that it happened. But we now have part of this extended footage that's coming out from the police officers who arrested her. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, please take a second, hit the like button for the video. I totally appreciate you guys subscribing and sharing this video. You guys totally do help out the channel a ton. Now, many people claim that she was clearly drunk in this video, but I'm gonna let y'all be the judge of that. Now, Fulton County has been in the spotlight for months now due to District Attorney Fani Willis and her actions in court and defiance of the law. And somehow, this has somehow defined how people are seeing this area. Now, this was also proven when Judge Ural Glanville conducted a secret meeting with Fani Willis's prosecution team in the YSL RICO trial, which begs the question, what part of Fulton County is not corrupt at this point, right? Y'all feel me? Like, and should Fani Willis now take notice of all of these various problems, or is she part of the issue? So check out this recent report on Peterson, and I want you guys to notice how she conducts herself while riding in the back of a police car.
June 20th, when Atlanta police arrested former Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson outside a Buckhead club. This video was released within a week of her arrest, where Atlanta police say Peterson pushed an officer in the chest.
Well, he got body cameras saying that, and I would love to see it. Can you play it back?
An extended look now coming from the camera's view of the back seat, where Peterson was for hours.
Disrespecting the black women. Falsely accusing the black women.
The footage starts with her continually praying, with some interactions with officers and what sounds like someone over the radio.
What did he do? Nothing. Nothing, ma'am. Nothing. He hit a woman. He abused a woman, ma'am.
And calling for people to
look at the videotape, ma'am. He punched a woman to the ground and then he did me the same.
On previously released body camera footage, it shows the officer saying Peterson punched him.
He just punched the cop.
Back in the back seat,
he said I punched him. That's
about 15 minutes in, you hear the officer ask for her name, and when she doesn't respond, he continues asking.
You want to provide your name? So
I know my rights.
Okay.
I have not committed a crime. Book me in right now.
Okay, I need your name.
Book me in. I have not committed a crime. Book me in.
Throughout the footage, you can hear officers explaining that Peterson was actually charged with simple battery against a police officer and obstruction of law enforcement officer. After more than 3 hours, we see Peterson get out of the car for good. Peterson was later released on a $5,000 bond.
Now, Peterson has reached out to DA Fani Willis about this arrest. She wants the DA to personally investigate this matter because it's important. And just like you heard, she also feels as if it's a race issue, much like how Fani Willis has been playing the race card her entire career as district attorney. Now, I got a question for you guys. Why do you think that this judge wants DA Fani Willis to handle this for her? Do you think that she may have any, maybe a hookup, some preferential treatment? Maybe they know each other. Hey, let me off. Some stuff went down at the club. I need you to get me out of jail. I need you to make these problems, these charges go away. I don't know. Y'all let me know. But even more footage has come out where Peterson she's talking to the camera in the police car. She says that her people told the police officers who she is, but they still arrested her. Really? So she believes that just because she's a judge, she's above the law. You ought to know who I am. You know what I mean? Or at least that's what many analysts are saying. And she also weirdly says that she's not the type of person who would hurt herself. And if something happens to her, she says that we should blame the police officer who arrested her. She even said the last name of the police officer on the tape. So here's something that she said that speaks volumes. Peterson said that she was going to own the police department once she got out of her handcuffs. Really? Unbelievable. Now, this is a judge, guys. This is a judge, mind you. So she also stuck to her story that a police officer was beating up a woman and that the same officer tried to do the same to her. Now, this was the confrontation outside of the club that you guys saw. You and I both saw it a couple weeks ago, right? She's saying that the police officer beat up another woman and allegedly may or may not have beat her up too. She also kept laughing to herself alone in the car, which I kind of found a little bit unsettling, a little odd. I don't know if she's hearing voices or I don't know what's going on in that head of hers. And here's where things actually became heated. So Peterson asked the police officer, "Do you know who I am? You effing fool." Wow. I mean, like, just complete, total, utter disrespect. She then suggested that the police officer find another job because he wasn't going to keep this one. So is that a threat to the police officer for doing his job because he arrested a judge? I mean, what do y'all think about that? Is that okay? I mean, is this signature to Fulton County? Because it really sounds extremely similar to what somebody like DA Fani Willis would say. Now, Willis is also known for playing the race card whenever she's questioned about pretty much anything. She also doesn't hold back when it comes to embarrassing other people, never shying away from doing from doing anything like that, while reminding the people that she's in a position of power. It's unbelievable. The level of entitlement. The entitlement is just off the charts. Now, I guess this kind of explains why Peterson wanted Fani Willis to get on the case. She's a role model for her, if you think about it, right? I mean, I don't know who would be above the other, because on the one hand, you've got the judge who was arrested in a smaller, lesser known county, but DA Fani Willis is the DA in a much bigger, more well-known Fulton County. So, but anyway, I don't know who's really the role model for each, but well, we're not really sure if Fani Willis is going to be facing something similar because she's not doing so well herself these days either. So Peterson was removed by the Georgia Supreme Court as of late June, after a panel had identified 28 proven counts of willful judicial misconduct out of 30 alleged violations. Now, one of the motions is related to her arrest, as we all saw. Now, as far as we know, she was the one who lost her job, not the police officer that she told that was going to have to get a new one. Remember that? Yeah, the judge actually got fired, which kind of makes you believe, maybe just for a second, that maybe there is hope for Fulton County. I mean, we just need people who actually follow the law and respect our Constitution in there. Now, Peterson has been, let's just say, effectively replaced by attorney Valerie V as the new Douglas County probate judge. So V was actually supposed to be taking over the position earlier next year when she won the May primary election. But with Peterson's abrupt removal, she's taken over a couple months earlier because of this, this whole situation going down and, the judge getting arrested. But anyway, so she's got a work cut out for her as Douglas County is expecting some changes. Now, many analysts have already pretty much said that changes, they have to happen today. This can't continue any further. And it's not going to go well if Fulton County still has a DA that's prepared to lie through her teeth, right? I mean, the same one that plays the race card every chance he gets. Willis, she continues to lose as her case against former President Donald Trump has been put on pause. It's like bad news after bad news for Fani Willis. And it's kind of it's a bit of a coincidence because this whole Georgia Supreme Court disbarred Christina Peterson. And the Supreme Court's decision on Donald Trump's presidential immunity may actually have just shot down all hopes for Fani Willis to continue her case against him. So, and the same can be said for special counsel Jack Smith. Now, I did a previous video where I talk about how this particular case is actually going in relation to the Supreme Court decision. So make sure you guys check that one out because I uncover a lot over there. I think you'll be really surprised with how pissed off Jack Smith is. But anyway, before I go, yo guys, Donald Trump, some other news. Donald Trump rips George Stephanopoulos ahead of the Biden ABC interview. And man, keep in mind, guys, George Stephanopoulos, this is the same guy that, if not mistaken, Donald Trump is in the process of suing for essentially labeling him as an R word, and you guys know what that R word is. You remember the case against Donald Trump where he was sued by E. Jean Carroll. Well, apparently George Stephanopoulos is the same guy that basically labeled him the R word, even though he was not convicted. Does that make sense? Anyway, so I don't want to say it on here. But anyway, former President Donald Trump slammed ABC anchor George Stephanopoulos as the meanest and most vicious interviewer out there ahead of President Biden's sit-down interview with him later today, actually, technically Friday. Happy Friday, you guys. Oh, and big shout out to Jacob Bartlett. Appreciate the Big Ten, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Catalia's in the house. We got a lot of folks in here. Jacob Bartlett says, one crooked lawyer helping another to cover up their wrongdoings. I know this is what we're seeing here. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And this is the same court system that's trying former President Donald Trump. Yeah. So anyway, in his post on Truth Social, Donald Trump called ABC anchor George Stephanopoulos, who's while dubbing the network fake news ABC, one of the worst and most vile broadcasters in the business. Wow. Former president also noted that one of the network's former reporters, Brian Ross, was let go over erroneous details that he reported at the time that there was supposed communication during the 2016 election between Russian officials and former President Donald Trump's national security advisor, Michael Flynn. But now, I'm trying to see what poll this is. Now there's this poll coming out saying that Donald Trump has only a 0.8% lead. When I'm looking at this Biden versus Trump poll, man, I look at these polls and let me know if it's just me. Is it you guys too? Do y'all like question the validity of these polls? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you trust these polls? Quick shout out and thank you to Freedom. Appreciate you, Freedom. Thank you so much for the 20, the big 20 this Friday. So Freedom says, did you see Biden yesterday, Ron, on 4th of July at the Capitol? He couldn't even say 4th of July correct. And at the very beginning, he said, ho, 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 you got to be kidding, Joe. It ain't freaking Christmas. I didn't see that part, but if you checked out my previous video, I think it was my last video that I uploaded, I actually caught Biden at he was at the White House. He was addressing the crowd. And buddy, like, dude is so robotic. He's like, he's just super robotic with his movement. And he like walks off. It looks like he's like about to like just like walk off and like talk to no one. Biden is done. Biden is gone. In that same video is a clip that you need to check out if you haven't already seen it. I need to leave a link for that video instead of just let me see. What did I do with that video? Let me see. Let me drop a link for you guys so you can easily find it. Oh, here it is. Look at the chat, guys. Look in the chat. I'm going to leave it for you right now. Hang on one sec. There you go. Check that video out right now. Joe Biden, man, that dude, he's done. He's freaking done. The dude's over here talking about Christmas in the middle of July. Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, these are the lies that the fake news have been telling us for years, and it's all coming out. But yeah. By the way, if you guys haven't already, please hit the like button, share the video. Totally appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Happy Friday. But yeah, so now the media is already talking about Donald Trump and Joe Biden's next debate. And Fox News is listing like some of the things that Joe Biden has to nail in his primetime interview coming up. So number one, the clarity of his mental acuity. Well, that is in question right now. Let's just put it that way. To put it nicely, a lot of folks are already thoroughly convinced that Joe Biden is mentally already done. But one of the things that he has to overcome is this clarity of mental acuity. So Biden will undoubtedly have to speak forcefully and very clearly to start dispelling these concerns that he's unfit to continue as the president of the United States. The purpose of the interview, first and foremost, will be to show voters that Biden's poor debate performance against former President Donald Trump was only a moment in time and not a symptom of how he is. So he's going to have to overcome that and prove that, that was just a bad day, just like Joe Biden says. Uh, because if he can't overcome this thing, he literally has to just like clear the way, let Michelle Obama come on in. Of course, Michelle Obama doesn't want to do it. So it's either Michelle Obama or it's Kamala Harris. But clearly, this guy can't carry the torch. He can barely carry himself from one side of the stage to the other. Number two, he's got to win back Democrats who have thrown in the towel. Okay. Basically, this performance that we've seen from Joe Biden on during the debate against Donald Trump was horrific. And a lot of Democrats that have been staunch Democratic supporters of his have literally said, look, dude, you are embarrassment. You're an embarrassment to yourself, to the country, to fellow Democrats. So a handful of Democratic lawmakers have already called on President Biden to retire. I did a video talking about all of these House Democrats coming out and saying, hey, we have to push Biden to get out this race while there's still time. Several others have expressed concerns about Biden's age regarding their trust ahead of the Democratic National Committee, the DNC. This is crucial, guys. So there's that. And then, of course, there's the economy. We can't forget about the economy. Everyday Americans feel the impact of inflation in their wallets. Biden must articulate his plans to bolster the economy, especially among swing state voters. Our common ground poll we do every quarter and consistently. The number one issue and overwhelmingly is inflation in the economy. So let's do a real-time poll with you guys here in the chat. What's the number one issue for you guys with that you would have, for our presidential candidates? Is the number one issue the economy? Is the number one issue for you the immigration policy, the migration policy, the border policy, the border crisis, or is it something else? Is it the wars that we're involved in overseas with Ukraine, Israel, Hamas, the tension between the United States and Taiwan? It's not the tension between the United States and China, Russia, Iran. Like, what's the number one issue? All right. We're already getting some results in here. We got a lot of folks saying economy. 2 people saying economy. 1 person says immigration. Brenda Jackson says age is not the issue. Mental health is the issue. You're right. Because look at Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is like, he's probably like 90 years old, and he's running Berkshire Hathaway, one of the most valuable companies in the world. It's got the highest stock price, and their market cap is just an unbelievable amount of money. They're probably worth several $1 trillion, and Warren Buffett is like, he's like older than Joe Biden, and he's way more coherent. He's way sharper. He's on it. He can pull numbers and quick calculations on the fly. So to your point, it's not about age. It's about mental sharpness. Quick shout out and thank you to Freedom for the Big 10. Appreciate you. So Freedom says, Mr. Yates, all the liberal media outlets will never tell you that Trump's leading even up to the day of the presidential election for America. Trump will whoop his ass. Oh man, and you gotta think about it. Majority of the liberal media, the majority of the media is liberal, and so there's that. So probably couldn't really disagree with you too much on that one, honestly. What's going on, Catalia? Appreciate you helping out in the comments as always. We got Jacob Bartlett, John Kent, Roadside Garage. Man, yeah. Yeah, so Biden's got a lot to do. He's got a lot to turn around in a short period of time if he's going to stay in this race. But anyway, drop me some comments down below. Is Biden going to stay in this race? Is Kamala Harris going to take over? Or are we looking at somebody else, a mystery candidate? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Is Gavin Newsom going to come out? Is Gretchen Whitmer going to come out? Is who's another candidate? Are they going to convince Michelle Obama to hop in this thing and try to save the day for the Democrats as the Titanic continues its downward decline and sink into the ocean? The unsinkable ship is sinking. But I also have to say, I think it's funny how you look at a lot of the liberal media outlets and they gaslight you and they try to make you feel, or they try to convince you, because they don't make me feel nothing. They try to convince you that, what you're seeing, what you've seen didn't really happen or isn't really happening. And then they try to go back and retract on what they previously said. It's really entertaining. It's very entertaining for those who know. A lot of people are still stuck with their head in the sand, and they don't realize that they're getting baited and switched by these news outlets and just gaslighting them. But some people have taken the red pill, some people have taken the blue pill. My question for you is, which one have you taken? Anyway, if you haven't already, hit the like button for the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel, share this video. I'll see y'all on the next one. Take care.